in Saudi Arabia. I've been
Yeah, Lindsey Graham, the stupid Zionist shill that literally just wants us to go to fucking war with them.
your biggest champion. I think the Crown Prince has taken Saudi Arabia in a completely different direction in a good way. But here's what I want to say to Saudi Arabia tonight. I'm willing to do a mutual defense agreement with your country to give you protection in perpetuity. Under the agreement I've been pushing, and I hope we can continue to talk about, if you're attacked by Iran.
So I don't mean to put this guy on blast, but Izzy 61, you're an idiot. So he goes, and I'm going to show you guys why this guy's an idiot. So he says, and he's in the Rumble chat, he says, sounds to me like we are overestimating Iran. Do not speak too soon. USA plus Israel literally killed 13 of Iran's top officials, including their religious leader, a.k.a. the Pope Ayatollah the fuck. And then he says, if a country's top officials and generals get killed, that country's weak. Now, see, my friend, you are what I call a retard, and I'm going to explain to you why you're a retard. What you don't understand is that Iran put into place something back in 2003, okay, which is basically like a dead man switch, okay? And basically what it is if the Ayatollah is ever killed, what ends up happening is the 31 different provinces all along Iran that are run by the IRGC basically have prescribed orders of what to do, okay? So they watched Saddam Hussein's regime get decapitated from a centralized order structure, right? And what ended up happening was they were able to topple the regime, decapitate the regime, and since there was no order from the top, people defected, they didn't know what to do, etc. Now, when it comes to what's going on with the Iranians, they learned and they adapted. They built underground bunkers, they stockpiled missiles, they focused on their ballistic missile program, they focused on getting hypersonics, and most importantly, they decentralized their command structure. Okay? Now, when it comes to the way the Iranians conduct warfare, the supreme leader is the only one that has power over the military. The president, the parliament, all these other government officials have zero power over the military. So, to be honest with you, the United States killing the Ayatollah was one of the worst things they could have done. Because what they effectively did is the Ayatollah's last orders before he died was, if I die, we are going to start a regional war. This is what you're going to do, this is what you're going to do, this is what you're going to do. He gave specific orders to each province. Okay? So, basically, when the United States and Israel killed the Ayatollah, for symbolic reasons, they actually activated a tripwire, a dead hand wire, something similar to what the Soviets have. And the problem is, the only person that could stop that tripwire was his son, who was gravely injured. If I'm not mistaken, I think his leg is gone now at this point, and he's in a coma. He was able to give a statement, but he's pretty fucked up, because I think he was also attacked in that same strike, or another strike after that. So, think about it. How is it that within an hour of the Ayatollah being killed, rockets were going towards Israel, rockets were going towards Qatar, rockets were going towards the UAE, rockets were going towards Oman, Kuwait, etc.? Do you think about that? The only reason that they were able to respond with such speed is because they had pre-mandated orders from before. And every different province is operating independently of each other. They're following what they were told from way before. And this is why they're causing an enormous amount of damage to the world. It's important that you understand that when it comes to asymmetric warfare, it's not about hurting the United States. You can't hurt the United States. We're geographically isolated. It's very difficult to get an intercontinental ballistic missile to the United States, and if you do, it'll probably get shot down on the way. Okay? You guys said I made it on Crowder's today? What are you talking about? What happened on Crowder? Anyway, so the Iranians understand that they can't beat the United States militarily. So what they have to do is they have to hurt the United States financially, economically, politically, diplomatically, and they're doing all of it. How so? Well, number one, they've shut down the Strait of Hormuz. This has effectively hurt 20% of the world's oil. Okay? 20% of the world's oil goes through the Strait of Hormuz. It's been shut down for weeks now. We're looking at $100 barrels of oil. Okay? Catastrophic. Very bad. They shut down, by proxy, the LNG, aka Qatar's gas, natural gas. That supplies 20% of the world's gas. This creates a geopolitical fucking tension because the only other place that could manufacture gas at that level and at that speed are who? The Russians. We all know that the Russians are sanctioned right now. So this has put a lot of pressure on the G7 and the United States, who are supposed to sanction Russia. So bad that Trump gave a temporary waiver to India to get Russian oil. See where I'm going here? So Russia, their energy stocks are flying up. Their gas and their oil is going up. The Chinese have a huge reserve. Also, Chinese are still getting their oil. The only oil that's going through the reserves, through the Strait of Hormuz is Iranian oil. For where? China. So the entire world is suffocating right now from an energy perspective, except for Russia and China, of course, who are feeding the Iranians intelligence. Now let's get into the warfare. The Chinese and the Russians are supplying the Iranians with an enormous amount of intelligence. This intelligence is giving them direct access and coordinates of what? U.S. assets, to include military assets, radars, missile interceptors, Patriots, THAADs, and, most importantly, intelligence assets. You guys remember those high rises all across the UAE and Kuwait and all these other places that are getting bombed? You know who lives there? Spooks. Intelligence assets for both the Mossad, the CIA, and other intelligence agencies that are countering or against the Iran, the Russians, or the Chinese. Now, that perfectly dovetails into the next way the Iranians are hurting the United States diplomatically. As you guys know, the Gulf states are sitting fucking ducks. Let me show you what I mean by this. Because a lot of people don't understand what the Middle East looks like. So for all the idiots out there, let me go ahead and educate you guys on this topic here. So you go into the Middle East, right? Here it is. Now, the Gulf states, right, aka Persian Gulf, right, goes from Iraq into Kuwait, obviously Saudi Arabia, which is right here. You got Bahrain, Qatar, the UAE, which is where Dubai is located, Oman, etc. Right? Now, look at where Iran is. Oh, right there. And look at where the Strait of Hormuz is, right here. Okay? This right here, this little strait, roughly 20 miles across at the narrowest point, accounts for 20% of the world's oil. Okay? So, as you guys can see, the Iranians are not far from any of these places. They can just shoot drones into these places and fuck them up. And they've been doing that quite a bit over the past couple of weeks. Okay? Now you guys are probably wondering, Myron, why are they attacking them? I'll tell you why. Because there's military bases all across this region. Okay? And the Iranians warned the Gulf states, as well as the Israelis and the Americans, that if we are attacked, this is going to be a regional war and we are going to destroy all of your assets in the region. They told the United States this, they told the Gulf states this. So they've been bombing the fuck out of all of the military bases in the region, as well as attacking locations where they suspect military/intelligence officials to be residing. Hence why they're hitting all these high rises. Just so you guys know, the United States, when there's intelligence operatives, it's not like they have a fucking office that says CIA. No, they have an office that says State Department. They have an office that says some contracting company. It's all clandestine for obvious reasons. Same thing with the Mossad. So when they're hitting these high rises or hitting these businesses, okay, what they're really doing is attacking American and Israeli assets. Okay? So They've been bombing these places relentlessly. Okay? Now, why is this bad? Well, I'll tell you why. The reason why this is so bad is because the only reason these Gulf states allow us to stay and host bases there is for what? Their protection, my friends. Now, let me ask you, if the entire purpose of you being here, contrary to my people wanting you there, by the way, if the whole purpose of you being here is for you to protect me, and you can't protect me, and I'm getting attacked and bombed because you're here, what purpose does it serve for me to allow you to stay here? Well, that's a good question, isn't it? Because the Gulf states only allow us to be there to protect them, and we're not even holding our end of the bargain. And worse yet, our interceptor missiles, our radars, and all our other sensitive equipment in the area have been thoroughly pretty much destroyed. Roughly 50% of our assets there, right? Missile interceptors, THAADs, Patriot missiles, radars, destroyed, blown up with $20,000 drones. No bueno. No bueno at all. So now the Gulf states have a difficult decision to make. Are we going to continue to let the Americans stay here and have our entire infrastructure get fucked up, or are we going to kick them out? Well, some of you guys might say, Myron, they're never going to kick them out. What are you talking about, bro? Well, once you figure out how the Gulf states make money, then you figure out, oh shit, maybe they will kick them out. Here's the thing with the Gulf states. All these Gulf states rely on two main industries to make money. Okay? The other industries are trying to catch up. But the main ways they make money are energy and tourism, especially the UAE. Okay? Dubai, for example, is an international city, the biggest airport in the world pretty much that has the most traffic because, as you guys can see, it's in a central location that basically connects the west to the east. This little strip of land right here, this airport, literally is in a central location to combine both worlds. Okay? Now, and you know, the Saudi Arabia and a lot of these places, Qatar, Kuwait, this is why they're so nice, is because they invite tourism. Their safety is what makes them so popular. Why people want to go there. So next thing you know, you got Iranian drones coming in, blowing you up, missiles blowing you up. Well, guess what? Tourism kind of goes down, doesn't it? And then on top of that, your oil that makes a lot of your money that goes through this little area here, now that's stopped. So think about it. You're a fucking monarch in the Gulf states. You have the Americans in. You invest trillions of dollars into the Americans. You build military bases, which you actually pay for yourself. The U.S. promises to protect you. Next thing you know, boom, boom, boom. Right? Your civilians are going crazy. The safety is eroded. And worse yet, you can't even fucking fix the damage because you're not selling oil. So the Americans that are supposed to protect you, who are the reason why you're being attacked, are not protecting you. And then on top of that, you can't even sell your oil. Oh boy, that looks like a bad place to be in, doesn't it? Your two main industries to make money are fucking destroyed. And the people that are creating the problems for you are not protecting you. And then the interceptor missiles that they gave you to protect yourself are quickly running out. So let me ask you guys something. Common sense here, now that you guys know the facts. If you were an Arab monarch, a king, a sheikh, or whatever the fuck, would you allow the Americans to keep bases on your land? Especially if the Americans are not able to get rid of the Iranian regime?